Anything and everything.
And shit.
Podcast. Justin and Erik.
I present to you the water balloon.
Water balloon?
Tell me, sir, when was the last time you guffawed out loud?
Oh, God, I guess it would have to have been before the fever took my little peep. I'll take 5 of them.
5 water balloons coming right up.
What the hell?
You sell water boobs?
Oh, water balloons. Yes.
I got a score to settle. Give me 10. All right, you snake in the grass! Son of a bitch!
Take this! Hey! What did I do?
I need your biggest water baboon.
I'm afraid they only come in one size.
Then I gotta go pay that drunken Chinese a visit. I got a score to settle.
Well, wait a minute. I might have something to help you settle this score of yours. Ta-da! The water noodle.
And that's like a water balloon? What in the hell?
It's a little different than a water balloon. You get it wet, and you smack people with it.
We have to be even! We have to be
I'll take 2.
Well, howdy, Bill.
I need some more water balloons.
Did you enjoy your first set?
Very much so. Do these work with pee?
Oh, well, I suppose so. A liquid is a liquid. Back again so soon.
That was my pee!
You sell bullets?
Sure do.
On a somber note, during the entire period in which this sketch took place, slavery was legal.
And blacks?
Just got a new shipment in today.
See?
What the hell?
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody? Hope you enjoyed that little clip there, a little laughter for y'all to start this whole thing off on the Anything and Everything and Shit podcast.
Yeah.
What's up, my brother? How
What's
are you,
up,
man?
Eric? I'm
Glad
good,
to-
man. Another day in the hood, you know?
Heck yeah, glad to be back on here, recording another podcast for y'all. And thank you guys so much for coming back and showing up and watching our show, man. So,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff going on in the world today. You know, got the U.S.-Iran war going on. And then you got, all these missing scientists or dead. It's like all these crazy things just up until like today, hearing about new people that are affiliated in some way with some kind of science, whether it has to do with pharmaceuticals, fusion science. And Erik and I actually talked about this on our episode 6,
Right.
And we were wondering, if there's some kind of connection between the Brown shootings and Nuno Loureiro, which was a fusion scientist,
Right.
and that was a while back. I think it was like 3 months ago. So it's been a minute that this has kind of been brewing and building up. So we're going to talk about that, and also, all the psyops that we keep talking about, the things that are going on in the world, there's a special artist out there that's really pushing the buttons and trying to go at the people that are trying to pull everybody's strings. And we'd like to do a little mashup and show you guys at the end of the video. So stick around and we'll show you that.
Man. That's really good, man. It's a good job. So.
This just in! Trump posted this. Israel never talked me into a war with Iran. Huh. I mean, tell us Israel talked you into war with Iran by basically telling us that Israel talked you into a war with Iran. Well, for those who believe everything Trump says, hope you're having a great day. They are calling for a chance of rain, though. Well, coming up tonight, shockingly, Erica Kirk does some weird stuff again. Israelis attack Jesus again. Trump has declared victory over Iran again. And Trump wants you to surrender your rights as a citizen. Find out which one's coming up tonight. At least that last one's new. Good evening. Before we get to Erica Kirk's latest abnormalness, take note. The same people that will get mad over how we talk about her will also be getting mad at what we're about to say about Israel. It's just funny how mind control works. It's at least predictable. Israel is under fire from the Christian community. No, it's not about them issuing a stand-down order on October 7th. No, it's not about them doing genocide and ethnic cleansing. No, it's not about them committing blasphemy with their God wants us to go to war propaganda. We're not really acknowledging any of those things yet. Israel is under fire because this picture was captured of an Israeli soldier using a sledgehammer to destroy a statue of Jesus. This has the Christians pissed. I mean, just wait till they find out what they did to the real Jesus. Now this made Christian Zionists pause for just a minute and ask, now wait a minute, maybe Israel just pretends to care about us because they want to use us. Well, that couldn't be, could it? And President Trump was asked to comment about this offensive desecration of Christ by Israel. Trump responded by saying, why'd they destroy a statue of a doctor? Moving along. To remind everyone what the correct thinking is, the chief of the thought police took to social media to remind everyone that Israel is a great ally. Fact check true. Israel is a great ally. And this is also Israel. Now, before we get more into the war that we don't know we're in with Israel and the war that we do know we're in with Iran, let's check out our reoccurring segment called What Erica Kirk Do Now? Well, I'm glad you asked, because last week Erica Kirk canceled her scheduled appearance at TPUSA event in Georgia, where she was set to interview Vice President J.D. Vance on stage. An event which turned out to have very low attendance. Erica claimed to have received death threats as her reason for canceling her appearance. And if there were indeed actual threats, that's the right call. However, many people who have an addiction to logic were left scratching their heads saying, well, if there were actual death threats, why'd the vice president still appear? That almost doesn't make any sense. Well, to all the Erica Kirk skeptics out there, there's a perfectly good explanation, which is the Secret Service found no credible threats. That's why the vice president was there. We'll move on. And move on is what she indeed did, because less than a week later she had an event with President Trump that she was able to appear at. And because it's true that she's just a grieving widow, let's take a look at what grief currently looks like.
Turning Point USA CEO and Chair Erica Kirk.
I see they dialed down the pyrotechnics a bit. I think that's a better look for the optic we're going for with all this. Because that new entrance tastefully looks exactly like grief. Or maybe there's budget cuts. But wait a minute, they probably have a bigger budget now because all the Zionists that were pulling away from Charlie are now back in with them for some reason. So probably not budget cuts, but less pyro. The former beauty pageant contestant had a speech that was filled with the genuine facial expressions that she's become known and quite adored for. Let's see how her dramatic scowl acting lessons are coming along.
You have people out there who are actively trying to tear this country apart. They love to start fights.
I think they're paying off pretty well. And I'll tell you, that face, it makes me reminisce about how Erica recently said she wished her husband was here so she could find out what he thinks about going to war with Iran.
Yeah, no, to answer your question, my husband isn't here to say whether or not we should be at war with Iran. I would love for him to be here right now and to tell us if we should or should not.
Here's where I stand and where the MAGA base stands. We do not want U.S. boots on the ground. We do not want American kinetic involvement. This is Israel's war.
Make sure we don't go to war against Iran, which would be a profound mistake for our country. So that's a really, really important thing.
It's pathologically insane. I'm sorry. It is. Do you understand how large Iran is?
Right, Erik. Going out on a limb, my best guess is he wouldn't be for going to war with Iran.
You're right, Charlie's not here. But you don't need to wonder what Charlie would say. And we both know you don't need to wonder what Charlie would say. Because we all know what Charlie would say. Because he said it before he died.
No. She is just a grieving widow. We should just wonder what he would say. Wait, are we still acting like this isn't a f***ing psyop? Like we're not investigating Israel over this? Oh, Israel is doing the psyop. Huh. This just in! If you've ever wondered why almost all new MAGA commentators simultaneously get outraged at criticism of Erica Kirk and support Israel at all costs, and you might find it interesting that personalities in shows like The Charlie Kirk Show, which does not include Charlie Kirk anymore, Josh Hammer, Dennis Prager, Brandon Tatum, Laura Trump, and Dinesh D'Souza are all broadcast by Salem Media Group. Who cares? Well, why that's important is the Chief Strategy Officer of Salem Media Group is a federal registered foreign agent of Israel. Ha! And Israel has a $729 million budget for their aggressive outreach initiatives. And for whatever it's worth, probably meaningless, but the FARA filing states that Israeli government messaging gets integrated into Salem Media Network properties. Now, I think those commentators who work for a federally registered foreign agent of Israel certainly have a lot of consistency with their messaging of don't criticize Erica Kirk. Move on from the Epstein files. Iran war good. Criticism of Israel is anti-Semitic. And unwavering support for Israel is godly. All of which probably has nothing to do with the Israeli money they receive. For more on this, check out Dankster Intel on Twitter. Guy does a lot of research. Now for a war update. Being at war with Iran is good. What? I'm trying to get my show on Salem Media Network like those other guys. I want some of that foreign money. Anyway, the war update. Here's what's happened in the last 15 minutes. The strait is closed. Trump said you better open it. They closed it more. Trump said we won the war. They opened some of the strait. We closed the rest of the strait. They closed the rest of the strait again. We double closed it. War is almost over. Still closed. We opened it. They left it open, so we closed it again and then again. Goalpost shifting, probably another 2 weeks. Negotiations. This is just a summary, so go f*** yourself. War's not over, yet we have total victory. In other news, would you like to give up your rights for your protection? Well, President Trump wants you to, while trying to gain support for his desired FISA extension, which flushes your privacy down the toilet and lets the government spy on you for your protection. President Trump tweeted this: I am willing to risk the giving up of my rights and privileges as a citizen. Sure, we're all excited to give up our rights too, Mr. President, but one man isn't. This man wants to kill FISA and doesn't believe the government should be able to violate the privacy of citizens by spying on them. Here's what he said. Kill FISA. It was illegally used against me and many others. They spied on my campaign. Donald J. Trump, 2 years ago. They say Trump has changed, but I don't think he has. I think those old MAGA idiots have.
It's just rain! We love it! Feels like a shower of freedom.
Because when you think about it, new MAGA wouldn't be dumb enough to fall for all the gaslighting that would be necessary to go along with all this if Trump was the one that changed. Meanwhile, Kash Patel is suing The Atlantic for $250 million. Whoa, a guy suing an ocean?
No, he's actually suing the Atlantic newspaper.
That does make more sense. So for clarity, Kash Patel is suing the Atlantic newspaper for $250 million because they published a story saying that he drinks a lot. Now, I do suspect Kash has a very strong defamation case against them. That's it for today's news. Enjoy getting rained on today. Or if you're awake to what's happening, enjoy getting pissed on. Good night. Bunch of crap. Man. Can you believe some people think I'm funded by Iran and Qatar?
I thought you were.
No.
No. Oh my goodness, man. That guy.
I'm not funded by them either, man.
Right? Yeah.
I don't really want any of that foreign money, though. I'm good. I don't want to be controlled, man.
Right? Yeah. I mean, and that's why I work hard for what I got, man. I can honestly say that, you know,
I say what I want to say.
Yeah. And you know, if it offends you, I'm sorry. You know, whatever. It sucks. But whatever. That's what I'm here.
It is, to his point, though, it is crazy how, you know, we've talked about it before where it's like we've been talking about this since the 80s. You know what I mean? They've been talking about death to America forever, right? And so anyway, also with the Israel thing going on where they're talking about, you know, in the 90s, Netanyahu saying we cannot let Iran have any nukes.
What?
And, you know, now it seems like we are going to war for another country. You know, it seems like we've gone to war for, you know, another country many times, and you know, never ends up all that great for us. You know, we well, they're still slaughtering people in the streets in Iran. It's nothing's changed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And whether that's propaganda or not, I'm not sure. But I'm just saying nothing has changed. We didn't save anybody over there.
Definitely not. I mean, you know, it's if you're not liking it, dig into it and actually find out why we're here, why we're at this point. And it's definitely irritating and blood boiling as well.
Yeah, it sucks. And like he was saying, it's pretty confusing from one day to the next. If you're actually watching it all the time and paying attention, you're like, well, are we still should I just change the channel now, or
right?
Because it's not making any sense, man.
Did we win? We didn't win.
We won on the first day.
Are we getting gas?
I thought we won back in June. I thought that was over then.
That's what I thought. Yeah, when we dropped the big bomb on their nuclear, and that was like now they don't have any, and so now they're reduced
to pea shooters, but now they're
well, definitely not well thought out.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't think we're ever going to be able to, you know the whole story on anything. And if we do, then that seems like that's the means for the end for all of us. If we actually know any information or, you know, invent anything or.
Started drinking it like normal. Got to work. I realized something else was left in it after I got into drinking it, and then I looked inside and found a rat. So after I found that out, you know, I vomited. I got sick multiple times, naturally because of what I'd seen inside. I just had ingested that. I just had drunk that, and then I went to talk to my chain of command. They referred me to go to Portsmouth emergency room, and then they confirmed it was a rat. And they confirmed, you know, that I ingested it. They told me that they've never experienced a case like this, and that more than likely with the chemicals that are in Monster, that it should be okay, and that my antibodies should be able to fight it off. But they want to keep close watch on me within the next 48 hours and make sure I'm not vomiting or have a high fever or any side effects to drinking. It's been very traumatic for me, and like I said, I'm never going to be able to drink anything that I can't see again.
That is insane.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'll test it on Patreon. I'm not gonna. Oh wait.
Oh my gosh, dude. Could you imagine?
I would never stop throwing up. Every time it came into my memory 20 years later, I'd still be throwing up.
Bro.
That is freaking disturbing, right? I mean,
dude was about to puke right there when he was watching the video.
Well, especially, I mean, we all drink stuff, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, playing it over and over is like, you know, because we were talking, it's like, how did it actually get in there? Was it a plant? And I'm trying to think, like, you know, I mean, it could have just fallen off, you know, crawling, and right as the thing puts the top on, you know, sealed
Perfect
it in
timing.
there, you know.
Stupid rat.
I'm sure it's like a 1 in a billion, which, you know,
or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was planted.
It could have been too, you know, but
maybe
he
he was a
had
bad worker that day. You never know. Disgruntled monster guy.
You never know, man. I mean, you know, if you weren't keeping an eye on your drink,
somebody slipping you a ratty instead of a roofie.
I just, you know, I mean, you would think that you would feel that.
I know. Like as soon as you pick up the can, you'd think you'd feel something rattling around in there.
I mean,
but I don't know, man. That was pretty.
That's just gnarly.
I mean, maybe we're overlooking the fact that he said the chemicals in Monster should be able to suppress the whatevers you're going to get from a rat.
Well, right. So
it's like, well, then why are we drinking Monster, man?
That's the other thing
I
too.
don't myself.
I've drank them in my lifetime.
I've drank them before.
You know, and that's what they're saying is like, you know, the main ingredient for like all those was bull bile. Is like one of the main ingredients that, and it's not from bull bile anymore because now they just manufacture it. But like, yeah, the main ingredient that gives you like the energy, not the B12 and all that stuff.
Where'd you hear that from?
It's actually,
don't say they said it. Don't say that they have already told everybody that that's what it is.
No, they haven't.
Okay.
You got to actually look into it. But yeah, if you kind of Google it and all that stuff, you'll find out that, yeah, it was like bull bile. Crazy enough. And have you ever seen, so like speaking of like, you know, fighting off diseases and all that, but have you ever seen those videos where like they pour like Monster or Red Bull over like hammers, they let them soak, they get all funky and they're all wobbly.
A hammer?
Yeah, like a fiberglass hammer. I don't know.
A fiberglass hammer comes to life?
It gets all wobbly, man, because like it.
Oh, you mean when?
Yeah, you got to let it soak for like 24 hours.
Yeah, what you mean. Okay.
It's all wobbly.
Okay,
wobbly.
This
is wobbly,
like,
man.
It starts coming to life and it's jumping all over the place like a hammer.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, and it's something to do with like eggs. If you like soak the egg and it becomes hardened and stuff. It's funky. I don't know if it's all actual real. I've just seen the videos on Facebook and stuff. You know, it's entertaining, especially, you know, 12:30 at night and you can't sleep and you're just like, huh.
Rabbit Hole City.
Right.
Gonna check out what's going on with Monster. And
yeah, man. So, you know, maybe it does
fight off. Like Coke, the Coca-Cola drink, you used to be able to put that on like battery terminals and clean the acid off, and you can clean pennies with it.
Yeah, man. It makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know, man. There's some crazy things that we ingest in our daily lives.
Right.
Some crazy stuff. But, you know, some of the things that are banned from you ingesting are truth, information, actual real stuff. Because if you start knowing anything, that's it for you.
Is there a link between the slaying of a top nuclear scientist and the deadly shooting spree at Brown University? 2 days after the Brown shooting, MIT professor Nuno Loureiro was gunned down at his home in Brookline, Massachusetts.
Reported gunshots. The father was shot multiple times.
With projectiles impacted in the wall.
The 47-year-old was a renowned professor of nuclear science and engineering. And the shooting at Brown, just an hour's drive away, targeted the School of Engineering and Physics. Coincidence? MIT stepped up security today out of an abundance of caution and in light of recent events.
Is there any connection between the shootings?
We had the deadly attack at Brown University, and now we have this.
This stinks of a hit.
Right.
It doesn't stink of, well, this guy knew some guy from another time and just didn't like him, so he decided to go kill him, and then missed him in his class and just decided to kill some other people, and then 2 days later goes and kills an MIT professor that
is on a breakthrough of.
I found out that I was being physically surveilled by the following method. my ex-boyfriend and I realized that people had been breaking into our apartment while we were gone together in the same vehicle. And so like, I'm in the apartment, I'm about to go to work, and I'm like, why don't you take out the trash and scope out the parking lot and make sure it's okay before I go to work? So he goes out there and he's like, there's this weird fucking Lexus. It's like a silver Lexus. This is a shitty apartment. Like, why is there really nice Lexus in the parking lot? And it has tinted windows that are not street legal, like just totally dark, totally black tinted windows that are not possibly street legal. And so he comes back in and we're standing in our bedroom window looking at the Lexus and talking about it. And I say out loud, maybe we should walk over there later and take a picture of the license plate, because the Lexus is across the parking lot from us, but it's backed in, so you can't see the license plate. Within 2 minutes of me saying, hey, we should walk over there later and take a picture of the license plate, we were still standing there at the window looking at it, talking about it. And an Eastern European looking motherfucker with a black beanie, dressed all in black, in his 50s or 60s, walked out of the apartment directly across from ours holding a license plate. And he opened the trunk of the Lexus and he took out some tools and he changed the license plate right in front of our fucking faces. And then he walked back to his apartment and he put the old license plate on the front patio and went inside, left it outside. And it was literally like, come get the license plate. I have more where this came from. Come get the license plate. And then after that, the Lexus started tailing me. And every time I saw the Lexus, it had a different license plate. It would be like Alabama plates, a different state plate. It would be random dealer plates, none of which were local, just like cardboard temporary dealer plates, none of which were any local dealers. Every time I saw it, it was different plates. It would follow me to the gas station to go get beer. I would go get beer at the gas station and that Lexus follows me. And even my ex called an Uber once. He called an Uber. The Lexus pulled out from the spot across the parking lot from our apartment, drove over to our apartment and said, hey, I'm your Uber here to pick you up. The license matched in the Uber app, but they didn't have an Uber sticker or a Lyft sticker. You can't drive Uber if you don't have an Uber sticker. He pulled out of his spot. He pulled out of his spot across from our apartment where he lived and drove over there to pick him up and said, hey, I'm your Uber here to pick you up. They changed the license plate right in front of our face. Like 60 seconds after I said, hey, we should go take a picture of that license plate. And they leave it on the patio, like, take it. We have more. Just take it. Like, I'm scared. I'm tired. I'm real tired. I need to disclose soon, man. I need to publish soon because it's like escalating. It's getting more and more aggressive. Like over the past, this has been going on for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And over the past 12 months, it's been like escalating, like more aggressive, more invasive, digging through my underwear drawer and sexual threats over the past like 3 to 6 months. And now I'm like, fuck, I have to publish. Fuck, I have to publish because like, it's only going to get worse until I publish. There's no way out of this. There's no way out of this fucked up situation until I publish.
Okay, this is a story that we're sticking on Outnumbered. It has now gone to the new chapter. The U.S. House Oversight Committee will now investigate the mysterious deaths and disappearances of now 11 scientists. They'd all been working on high-level space or nuclear power research, and they have either died or mysteriously vanished since 2022, some with some strange similarities, like leaving their homes without phones or wallets. Committee Chairman James Comer says a new coordinated effort is underway to find the answers.
this is something that that could be very serious. We know there are many countries around the world that would love to have our knowledge and nuclear capabilities, and these are the people that were at the forefront of it, and they're either dead or missing.
Law enforcement has not drawn a link between or among any of these cases. However, the mystery is still prompting some fresh questions, like this one from our own Peter Ducey.
Do you think it's possible that some foreign spies could be scooping up our scientists to go build something?
You know, that would be the most likely explanation for a lot of this, and that's not out of the realm of possibilities. I mean, there's been activity of foreign countries interfering with whether or bringing over scientists from other countries.
Lisa, you looked at me like you were watching a movie.
That's what this feels like. It feels like we're living out some sort of sci-fi novel here or movie. We're talking about some of the most advanced scientists tied to national security. So in a large population of people, of course, deaths occur. But when you're talking about this smaller pool of highly specialized individuals in a cluster in such a short period of time, it seems a little bit more unusual. I have to read some of this information from Amy Eskridge, who is one of the scientists who allegedly died of a reported self-inflicted gunshot wound. She was on a podcast in 2020, and she was saying that she was going to disclose she had discovered some anti-gravity propulsion information, and apparently that's widely discussed by UFO researchers who have claimed this advanced technology is what allows alien spacecraft to achieve impossible speeds. So she had discovered this. She was working on this anti-gravity, novel foundational work regarding anti-gravity. She was talking about how she was being targeted both psychologically and physically as well as a result of this. She was worried about her life. Mm-hmm. And then, so she hired a British intelligence officer to help her look into some of these threats against her. And then they allege that an unknown suspect fired a directed energy weapon at her, causing burns across her body using powerful microwaves. So when you read that, I mean, it sounds insane. But yes, that's why my face was like that when you had started this show off.
Lovely as always, but shocked.
Well, yeah, because even just taking into that, what she said on the podcast, it seems insane. Yeah. But, you know, I don't know. It's pretty crazy stuff. I hope we get to the bottom of it.
Well, and Emily, this is the part that we know that we can talk about via podcasting or reporting. Imagine what we don't know, and that's what the House and the federal government want to get into.
It's such a great point that hopefully, and this is where sort of my faith lies, that all of the people who have the high-level, top-secret clearance abilities are working furiously and feverishly to discover exactly what the commonalities are, because all we see is this pattern, or what seems like a pattern. But you're absolutely right that, I mean, what they're even working on, we can't even articulate, frankly. Right. And right as you said that, I actually recently listened to, I always listen to Sean Ryan podcast, but the interview he had with a gentleman named AJ, who was the victim of one of those DEWs, and to hear the immediate and complete, total debilitating effects of one of those weapons that China and Russia have admitted having, that it took us forever to sort of admit to, but that lies in this world. It is quite easy, frankly, which is why it's totally horrifying, to debilitate someone in a way that's through a building, and is by targeted lasers and microwaves and things that, again, I can't even understand. So we should be looking at everything, because that is how we narrow down exactly what happened. And at the heart of this are 11 at least family members that lost their loved ones. So my other question is, what are the families saying? And I've noted that they seem to be pretty reticent, which to me leads more and feeds more into the pattern of they're being told to keep quiet because something.
Well, and think about it. I mean, we don't know how many of these people are truly dead. There are some who have vanished, who are missing right now. So if you are thinking that you can get your family member back, you're going to be even more cautious. The government doesn't have to tell you to keep your mouth shut. You know that going on television is not going to help you get your loved one back, likely. Rosanna?
Well, I'm sure they're worried about their own safety, right?
Double.
And listen, I love a good conspiracy theory. And I think the FBI and all those agencies should investigate. But when you kind of look at all these people that vanished, they're spread across different agencies and institutions working in different specialties like astrophysics and pharmaceuticals. So they don't exactly work
Somewhere in the same lab, though?
Some work in the same lab, but some of them don't work in the same lab.
That's more than a coincidence.
They're not all direct. I love a good conspiracy theory. Let the FBI
I hear what you're
investigate.
saying. I hear what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
totally jumping into this yet.
Well, one of the victims here, and I call them victims because, well, they would be a victim of something because they're not with us right now. But one who's missing went away without a cell phone, without all these items, and he'd been complaining of symptoms of brain fog in the recent days before he vanished. So I hear what you're saying. There could be a whole host of reasons. It doesn't have to be a conspiracy theory to know that you don't all have to work in the same room.
Right.
In order for something to be connected. That's why I've pitched a task force at a very high level to take a look at this and cull what all those different authorities and investigators and local communities are pulling together.
Yeah, so shark attacks and ice cream sales are on the same bell curve. They go up at the same time, they come down at the same time. And that sounds like, wow, there must be some connection there. And then you find out sunshine, that's the connection. People buy ice cream when they go to the beach, right? So that time of year is when they spike and they come back down. There's a correlation there. There's a missing element we don't see when we get just that information. That's a part of this. There's a great little diagram here that shows how unconnected they are. And so you have to take that into account. What really notches this up, because most of them, like Nuno Loureiro, I know I'm messing that up, and I am no disrespect whatsoever. That's an MIT professor, had a background in the same sciences, but not necessarily a connection. He was killed by the Brown shooter, and you find out they were classmates together. Now, we could say we don't know near enough about the Brown shooter because I haven't heard much, and that was the entire incident was very odd, the way that certain cameras were turned off. And so there's a lot of those things that create questions. But then you go into the list, and it's really the ones that are missing. And so like Monica Reza went missing on a hike. Her friend saw her wave, and then they never saw her again. They never found the body. You have William Neal, the general, someone you think would have good control over, like he would probably plan out a hike, right? He left everything sitting on the table, went on a hike, which I guess he was known to do, never found again. Then you have, Melissa Cassius. She was an administrative assistant, so she wasn't an engineer or a doctorate. She was an administrative assistant. It's disputable how much access she had to what, and she literally just went missing last seen walking down a road without her keys or anything. Those mysteries are what makes all of this more interesting. And then there are, I think, at least one unsolved murder. So it's the fact, it's not just that they're missing and dead, it's how they went missing and died that people, and we should be looking into it for no other reason than our own national security.
Yeah.
You know what administrative assistants have visibility into, though? Scheduling.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying she didn't know.
That person have, like what calls were they taking
and
from
emails.
what foreign assets.
This is one of the hardest videos I've ever made, because today we're not just talking about a researcher. We're talking about a man who inspired millions, a man who dedicated his life to uncovering hidden truths, a man who is maybe no longer with us. Reports have emerged that David Wilcock has passed away at the age of just 53. And if this is true, this is not just a loss, it's a shock. According to initial information, authorities responded to a 911 call on April 20, 2026. Now, this happened near Ridge Road in Colorado. The cops arrived, and within minutes, a man reportedly used a weapon on himself. The case was recorded, closed, simple, but is it really that simple? Because those who follow David Wilcock closely know something very important. He had repeatedly said, I would never take my own life. Not once, but multiple times, and that's where the questions begin. David Wilcock was not just another author. He was deeply involved in topics like UFOs, extraterrestrial contact, ancient civilizations. He appeared on shows like Ancient Aliens multiple times. Sometimes I appeared on the same episodes with him on Ancient Aliens and History Channel. And he built a massive following. And there is a pattern developing, right? Because I don't post obituaries on my platforms, but something strange is developing. Erik von Daniken, gone. Nick Pope, gone just 2 weeks ago. Now, there are 11 scientists already gone or disappeared recently. They were all involved in high-level space and nuclear research. Now, this is the latest news from Fox News. David Wilcock was not a scientist, but he was working on anti-gravity technology. And some even believed he was in telepathic contact with higher beings. Now, agree or disagree, there is one thing you cannot deny. He had influence. Now, here's something that makes the situation even more unsettling. In his recent appearances, David spoke about his health. He mentioned blurry vision, nervous system issues, low energy, tingling sensations. He even said, this doesn't feel like aging. Something is different. And then this has happened. For almost a year, David put no videos on YouTube, even though he had 500,000 subscribers. He only did live sessions. And just 2 days before this news, he went live again. And he did not show any signs of taking his own life. He was talking about politics. He was talking about Donald Trump. He was talking about UFO disclosure. And in the video before, he was talking about crop circles and global issues. Now, if you look at these videos, you cannot help but wonder, does that sound like someone preparing to end their life? Or someone still engaged, still fighting, still speaking? Now, here's where things become even more complicated. People close to him have spoken about cyberbullying, harassment, legal pressure, constant attacks. There are even claims that authorities were contacted multiple times, but no strong action was taken. And then there are other claims that may or may not be true. Claims of being targeted, being silenced, even slow poisoning. Now, these are serious claims, and right now, they remain unverified. But when you combine everything together, a pattern begins to form. A man researching controversial topics, a man claiming access to hidden knowledge, a man under pressure, a man with declining health, and suddenly he's gone. Now, even more strange, there's very little mainstream media coverage, almost nothing. A person who appeared on global shows, wrote books, produced documentaries, and yet silence. I just saw one statement from X, from Representative Anna Paulina Luna. She expressed condolences, praying for his family and acknowledging the millions he impacted. But still, no deep investigation coverage, no major headlines, no detailed breakdown of what really happened. Why? Let's be clear, this video is not making conclusions, and this video is not about spreading misinformation. But this is about asking questions, because when something doesn't feel right, you don't ignore it. You observe, you question, you seek truth. And right now, there are too many unanswered questions. Where is the recording of the full 911 call? Where is the dash cam or body cam footage? Why is there no visual confirmation? We don't see one picture or video. about David Wilcock's passing. We don't see anything at all. And perhaps the biggest question of all, why did a man who said he would never take his own life end up being reported that way? Was it exactly what it seems? Or is there more beneath the surface? History has shown us that researchers exploring controversial ideas often face intense resistance, sometimes ridicule, sometimes pressure, and sometimes something worse. Again, we're not concluding anything, but we're not blindly accepting everything either, because truth requires courage. Today, we remember David Wilcock, not just as a researcher, but as a human being, a man who believed humanity could evolve, a man who believed we are more than just physical bodies, a man who believed we are light beings. Whether you agreed with him or not, he made people think, he made people question, he made people look beyond the obvious. And maybe that's why his story should not end in silence. If you're a fan of David Wilcock, if his work impacted you, then the best thing you can do right now is simple. Keep asking questions. I don't normally make videos about things like this. I make videos only about ancient temples. But I'm making a video because I want to keep asking questions about this. Because truth does not fear questions. Rest in peace, David. You will be missed, and your story is not over yet.
What are you doing, dude? You're going to lose.
Do you really want to see why this actually happened to David Wilcock? I'm about to show you his video in tears. Remember in my first video I told you guys he was on the verge of discovering something big. Not just that, he knew things that were big. I'll explain it as we go.
It's to God. This is true, folks. You need to stop this shit. Some things I don't mind talking about. I don't like talking about this. What the hell are you doing, dude? You're going to lose. You're not going to win. It's inevitable. We already know because the future timeline is fixed. This particular timeline that we're on leads to your defeat. There is no getting around that. You are not being in integrity, but you don't care. But if you don't do this, we are screwed, man. You think this is all natural? You think nobody's coordinating any of this stuff? You think I want to talk about this? You think I want to be up here on the camera talking about this?
So what exactly is he talking about? I'll tell you. He has ins with a bunch of intelligent assets and companies, and he knows, based on Project Looking Glass, that the future had 2 routes and we avoided 1 route in 2012. It's very real. It's like the chronovisor in the Vatican that can show things that happened in the past. Yes, that's real too. It gets even crazier. Just hold on. He's wrong about one part and it hurts my heart. And that is that we will win in the end, not physically, not in the flesh, but spiritually, that Jesus already won. But not believing in Jesus, what he sees is the destruction of humanity, therefore he thinks it's the end. He knows the contract the government has with these benevolent beings of spiritual wickedness in high places. That, and what I just told you, is why. Did you know that David Wilcock is what the intelligence assets called a person of interest? What if I told you they were putting him under hypnosis the entire time he was a child? It's so easy for us to say, this person's evil, they're controlled, this and that. Not understanding they're in a very delicate, very adverse situation where they have these extremely benevolent societies that are controlling their actions even as children.
Why was I waking up under hypnosis? Why was I walking out the door of my house in the middle of the night hundreds of times as a child and I couldn't remember where I was going? And at the end of the thing, they just make me walk back to where I was, and then the memory is lost. And I don't remember what happened, but now I do. Now I do.
David Wilcock was a targeted person. He was tormented since his youth. He was recruited, started seeing a truth that whatever he was working for is benevolent. The whole story will be on YT.
Every day that I have on earth is a gift and a blessing, and I'm very grateful for that because, frankly, people are disappearing. Scientists are going missing. Now they're saying they're going to investigate this. The president himself is saying they're going to look into this and see if anything's going on. It's a little bit scary. I got to say, it's a little bit scary, but you guys knew that I might still show up even though it was last minute and I've had a really rough week. That's kind of like every week, but somehow we keep on making it through all of this.
Yeah, it's some crazy coincidences or not.
I mean,
what do you think?
I don't know about all of them being coincidences. I mean, it just, especially the one that we just did the podcast on, on episode 6, that was just odd. I mean, he had coming up with something that could change the world.
Yeah.
Literally, he could change the world.
Most of them
right.
are. I mean, it's been brought up that they could be part of Project DART, which is basically a program where they shoot rockets at meteors or asteroids or something that might be threatening the planet that these people were working on and stuff like that, or gravitic science, which is like anti-gravity propulsion stuff, right. Like how they could, basically switch gravity on and off. Then there was some that are into pharmaceuticals, and that doesn't really separate anybody from anything in my book.
No, definitely not.
But
I mean, it's just to me, and it could be, and it's not just
and
these.
Some
people.
of them are just missing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. And that's the thing. It's like, and it's not just these folks that have got, and this, it's just weird that it's really recent that all these have, but it's gone on throughout history.
Well, of course. I mean, we did it with the scientists from the Nazis, and then the Russians did it with the Nazi scientists too.
Right.
But I guess what I'm kind of getting at is that it's such a small, concentrated time.
And
amount of people that basically you've taken a third of the cast from Ancient Aliens. I've been watching them for over 10 years. You know what I mean? And on top of that, they're not even playing it anymore. They used to play it all day.
Well, it's like with David Wilcox. I mean, he's in our backyard.
Right.
He lived up in Boulder, and nothing on the news. No mention on anything. And with any of these guys, nothing for And now it's because families like, well, what the frick is going on?
When that Muslim guy from Lebanon or whatever he was threw the Molotov cocktail or the fire bomb on the old Jewish lady.
Yeah.
It's insane
man.
I don't know how that person would have known that this person is a Jewish Holocaust survivor. That's how it all played out, and that's what was reported to us. But that was all over the news every day, all the time. Is national news.
Yep.
It was huge.
And I get that and I say that's cool or anything. Don't be doing
this person, this David Wilcock, there's nothing about him.
Not a peep. And he's well known.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, especially for being in our backyard, nothing. And he said over and over again, I will not kill myself. And yet,
all of them did. That's what all of them kept saying, the same thing. We're not suicidal. Alex Jones just put out a video yesterday where he was like, I am not suicidal. I am very happy with life.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, hope you're not next, man. Honestly. This is insane that people are getting taken out for knowing too much or saying too much or whatever. And it's like, I'll say it because I've already said it. I'm not suicidal either.
Yep.
I'm not going to kill anybody.
Right.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep putting these podcasts out. We're gonna keep saying what we want to say, though. I'll tell you that
for real. Spread the word, man.
For damn sure, we're not gonna back down to nobody because I would rather just not do this than have to be controlled by somebody telling me what I can and can't say. And they'll obviously go to any end to make sure that we stay in line. So we're gonna take a quick break.
you're still on a leash. It doesn't matter which thing you choose. At the end of the game, you lose. You're just a chess piece on a board for the Raiders. Keep up the pawn, keep up the cans, keep up the wall, wall, wall. Keep up the reps, keep up the dance, giving them more, more, more. Stay silent, stay violent, stay plugged in and divided. Cool down, let's get rid of the cash. Digital ID and let's turn out the trash. Mr. Teal, Mr. Anderson, they want us with the black pill on the test before they do it in the movies like it ain't real. Billy Gates, he makes a profit off disease. Buys up all the farms and pay is what we eat. Him and Pfizer got $1 trillion dream. You can go and depopulate the elites. So they killed Charlie and they killed Marley, both the Kennedys and Marilyn. They killed Diana and they killed Jackson. We are their legacy, this is their anthem. Stay silent, stay violent, stay plugged in and divided. Bombs drop from heaven just like hail. Dragged your own through the mud, well done Israel. When the altar and a ballot and a barrel shouldn't meet. Cleanse the country, kill the children, Mr. Baby, how do you sleep? This isn't a willy or dream. Puppet strings around the thread. Burn our souls to power the machine. Puppet strings around the thread. Our flesh and our spirit. Puppet strings around the thread. Are you a wolf in a world full of sheep? Puppet strings around the thread.
BlackRock, Starmer. I've spoken about Starmer.
Palantir watches like horse, and BlackRock is back to his core, funding the digital war. Starmer like Judas and Tor. Now be a good civilian, while the folks on the hill keep making millions. Keep up the pawn, keep up the cans, keep up the wall, wall, wall. Keep up the reps, keep up the dance, giving them more, more, more. Stay silent, stay violent, stay plugged in and divided. Cool down, let's get rid of the cash. Digital ID and let's turn out the trash. Mr. Teal, Mr. Anderson, they want us with the black pill on the test before they do it in the movies like it ain't real. This isn't a willy or a dream. Puppet strings around the thread. Burn our souls to power the machine. Puppet strings around the thread. Our flesh and our spirit. Puppet strings around the thread. Are you a wolf in a world full of sheep? Puppet strings around the thread. This isn't a willy or a dream. Puppet strings around the thread. Burn our souls to power the machine. Puppet strings around the thread. Our flesh and our spirit. Puppet strings around the thread. Are you a wolf in a world full of sheep? Puppet strings around the thread.
Once you perceive what lies beneath the surface, once you glimpse the truth behind the polite illusion, you are faced with a terrible choice. Do you speak or do you remain silent? If you speak, you disturb the dream. If you stay silent, you disturb your soul. This is not a simple dilemma. It's an ancient tension between truth and belonging, between authenticity and acceptance. When you speak, when you dare to name what others deny, you risk being cast out, and not always gently.
Very powerful song. I mean,
For real.
Listen to the play it back. Listen to the words, man.
Yeah, definitely check out. I think it's Ilya or Iya. I think it's Ilya May. Check her out for sure. I'll leave links in the description so you can get all her videos and everything, because she's definitely on point with what she's saying. She definitely has balls.
Right.
I respect that.
Hell yeah.
For
Dude,
sure.
I'm like, wow, man. I mean, that's the first, time. Well, actually, it was the second time I heard the song, but still, it's just like, wow, man. I just like.
Well, I showed Erik the video first. I was like, pretty cool, huh? And he's like, yeah, that was good, man. That was really good. And then I was like, do you want to see the original one? And he's like, I thought that was.
Dude, I was like, oh, okay.
But then, you can actually read her lyrics and everything with the video, so it'll tell you exactly what she's saying.
Heck yeah. And I was like, man, she's on point too. I mean,
everything that I've been thinking, bro, like Pfizer and Bill Gates and all this, $1 trillion dreams. And
right. They just keep selling us down the drain, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck y'all, man.
And we better just stay in line and be good.
Right.
I'm just going to put it out there right off the top that historically, I'm not very good at staying in line. I'm just not. Right. And I don't know that I could change that for anything as ridiculous as, trying to tell me to put something in my body that I don't agree with, or trying to tell me that I have to pick a side of some dumb bullshit that I don't agree with. I just don't figure I want to pick a side.
Right.
I'd rather just be a human being on this planet. And I'm in America, so I guess I'll be an American and just be cool with what I am. But, that's just me.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Strange facts you may have never known. In the spring of 1946, a hooded killer known as a Phantom terrorized the border town of Texarkana. He attacked couples in parked cars on Lover's Lane. That's messed up. Killing five and wounding several others. The town was gripped by such fear that the residents stayed inside themselves as police patrolled the streets with searchlights. The killer vanished as suddenly as he appeared, and his identity remains a mystery. Inspiring. The classic horror trope of the hooked hand killer. There you go.
Yeah. So what happened?
So, dude was killing people, man. In Texarkana.
On Lover's Lane, man.
On Lover's Lane in Texarkana. Man, why is it?
Douche.
Well, it's got to be jealousy, man. Motherfucker wasn't getting nothing, so he's got to go take it out on people that was. It's like the son of, what wasn't it? The son of Sam?
That's what it sounded like.
He was doing the same thing, but I guess Son of Sam kind of, I don't know.
That was crazy. He had a dog barking at him.
Yeah, something like that. The neighbor or something. That one was another weird one.
Yeah. Well, that's not a strange fact, though. That is just a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah, it was loose.
Right? Yeah.
The goose.
Yeah. That was a good movie. Did you ever watch that?
That movie was pretty good.
That was a pretty good movie. It had John Leguizamo up in it.
It reflected the killer as much as it reflected the sickness from the 70s.
Well, right, yeah. And that's, I mean, that's what I got more so of it. Like, damn, man.
Hey, you want to go have a orgy? All right.
Yeah, man.
And then we'll be mad at each other afterwards.
Right, dude. What?
Nuts.
For real,
man. The 70s.
Oh, man,
Well, you were in the 70s more than I was.
Oh,
couple 3 years.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, Jesus.
Hey, man, I wasn't even old enough to remember anything in the 70s.
I remember Star Wars.
And shit. All right, guys. Thanks for watching our show. We appreciate it. Again, we're on all the platforms.
All of them.
Anything you like to listen to, we're there. If you like to watch it, we're on YouTube. They're doing the Spotify videos now. Apple's on its way. So we'll be doing videos in multiple platforms. You can also support us on True Fans. That's the truth.
That's a fact, Jack.
That's a fact, Jack. We'll see you next week.
Peace.